Hi everyone, welcome back to my tutorial videos on essential assessment. My name is Daniel Futcher and I'm Assistant Principal at Blythe Park Public School. Today I'm going to be talking you through the My Numeracy functions inside of essential assessment. My Numeracy is an assessment tool that is designed to assist with students' progress through new concepts. So while at school, all the students have participated in a number in algebra, measurement geometry, and statistics and probability assessment at the beginning of the year, and we're making them way through the mid-year assessments before COVID hit us. So from that, My Numeracy has developed a learning pathway for the students based off the areas that they didn't do very well in or haven't got a full understanding of. So I completed one of those assessments as our test student. And to access the My Numeracy, the first thing you need to do is to look at what area you would like to go into. So number and algebra, measurement and geometry, or statistics and probability. Most of our work to start off with is going to be inside number and algebra. So when I click that, it takes me through to the next screen, which shows the assessment that I had completed, which was a common grade assessment, which looked at all the number and algebra strands for mathematics across New South Wales. And inside of here, I have done my pre-assessment at the beginning of the year. I'm yet to do my mid or my post-assessment. We usually have a 4 to 5 month period between these throughout the year. We do one at the very beginning, one middle of the year, and one at the end of the year. If you do have a completed assessment there, you'll be able to see the results. I got 63% in the assessment I did. And the assessments allow our students to move up into higher, more challenging questions depending on how they're going, and also go down if they're not achieving a good standard of correct questions. It will move them down to a year group below. So we can find an area which is in the zone where our students should be working. Before you go into the My Numeracy, you are able to go in and review your questions. So if you do want to sit with your children at home and have a look at some of the areas that they went well in, all of the skills that they've learned will be listed on the left-hand side, and the skills that I still need to learn on the right-hand side. These are the areas that My Numeracy will focus on. If you click the Review Questions button down the bottom, this will actually show you inside of the assessment the way that I went through and did my assessment. So you can see at the top here, it has the numbers of questions, the question listed up in the top left, and the answer that I did is there. I have a tick to represent that in this, which is show which number is shown by the place value of this model. I got the correct response by selecting 1,320. You can go through and see if I've got an incorrect response. It's represented by a red cross, a white cross inside a red circle and a red border around, also showing what the correct response should have been. Now this will be there for any assessments that I have done and completed. You can go through and review those with your children if you'd like to. After this, if you've finished, you can have a look at an overview of the full assessment, which shows you what I did get right and wrong. You can go in to see one of those questions, or in the bottom left-hand side, we can click the exit, which will take us back one screen. So that's an overview of how you have previously gone in assessments throughout the year, or your children have. And from there, it's going to build an individual learning path different for every student based off the areas they got questions wrong in. So this circle down the bottom, it acts as our back button and will take us back another level. So if I did click it again now, it would take me back to that common grade assessment again, back to that first part where I could possibly choose another area to go into. Now this is the same for measurement and geometry and for statistics and probability. So to start off with today, we're going to look at number and algebra. We're going to go into that common grade assessment. And I'm going to have a look at My Numeracy, which is highlighted here. When you click My Numeracy, you'll be presented with learning goals. They are based off different areas inside of that test. So we have addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, fractions and decimals, and patterns in algebra for this test student. I must have got questions wrong in all of these areas, and it's going to give me some learning tasks to do based off the areas that I did not do so well in. So let's start with addition and subtraction. I have 3 different learning goals inside addition and subtraction. Now, different students might have none, they might have more than 3, but these are individualized to the questions that I got wrong in that beginning of the year test. If you've also completed the mid-year test, these learning areas would be based off what you got wrong in that mid-year test. Now, our students can choose where they would like to take their own learning. So if I'm not really feeling like looking at addition and subtraction today, maybe I did that yesterday, I could work into multiplication, division, fractions and decimals or patterns in algebra. I'm going to start with addition and subtraction for today's video. You can see that there's 3 different learning goals for me to look at. So the first one is to connect addition and subtraction. The second one is to use money and change. The third one is to solve problems with place value to tens of thousands. I'm going to start looking today at connecting addition and subtraction. When you click on an area to work in, you'll be presented with the learning goals based in an understanding, fluency, problem solving, and then reasoning. This builds upon the skill of connecting addition and subtraction. Every area that we look at is going to use this same structure. It's going to have a basic understanding where, for this example, I could recognize the connection between addition and subtraction. It's going to move to a fluency, which is I can describe the connection between addition and subtraction. Problem solving, where I can solve problems that connect addition and subtraction. And then reasoning, so I can explain the connection between addition and subtraction. This same progression will be used as a template for every other learning area. So if I was to go into use money and change, obviously the topic's different, but it's still doing an understanding, then fluency, problem solving, and then reasoning. However, this is going to be based off using money and change. So to go back to our original area of connecting addition and subtraction, I've decided that today this is the learning area I would like to focus on. So in the top left, I'm going to click Start. And this is going to start me on a journey of learning and practicing those new skills. Should open up to a window in front of you. And the first thing you should see is that understanding level with an instructional video ready to go. So the way that all of these are done is an instructional video, and then it will ask some questions to check that understanding. We'll move to a new instructional video for the next level of learning. The videos can be increased to full screen with this button here, and the volume can be controlled with that slider as well as your whole computer volume. I'm going to increase the video and I'm going to press play. We're going to be looking at adding 2-digit numbers with the addition algorithm.
Here, we need to add the numbers 35 plus 46. If we think about the place value of the numbers, this is the tens place value column, and this is the ones or units place value column. To add the numbers, we can work from the right, adding each place value column. We can add 5 plus 6, which is equal to 11. 11 is 1/10 and 1 unit. The 1 unit is recorded in the units column and the 1/10 is placed in the tens column. We can now add 3 tens plus 4 tens, which is equal to 7 tens. We can then add the 1/10 to this, so the total is 8 tens. So 35 plus 46 is equal to 81.
All right, so that video there has shown us one instruction on how to use an algorithm to add 2 numbers. Now we've watched that video, we're going to be able to move with this arrow to the next part of our learning. And this is going to work on me practicing those skills that I've just learned. Now, we could be working on paper or a whiteboard. I'd expect here that our students and children are working on a hard material to practice those algorithm skills. However, there is an option on the right-hand side here to use a sketch pad. So we can draw in here with the pencil and do that 12 and 26 to physically practice that algorithm. 6 and 2 is 8. My plus there, and 1 and 2 is 3. So 38 is my answer. Looking across here, if I'm having problems reading those answers or the question, I can click the little speaker next to it.
Complete the addition.
that will say it, and these will read the numbers for me.
46, 38, 34, 28.
Now, I think the answer here, as I worked out in my sketchpad, is 38. I'm feeling pretty confident about that, so I'm going to click 38. Once I've done that, I've got a chance to have a think again before I click the next arrow. It's showing me that I've got that question correct, and now move me to the next one. I can go back and double check that if I'd like to, and move forward. And the next question is giving me a subtraction. Now, I might not know how to do subtraction yet, so I can click the I don't know button down the bottom, which will record for me that I have not answered this question and can come back to it later. The next question here, as you can see, is adding 26 plus 18, and this is now going to involve that trading that the video showed us about. So if I was to go ahead and draw this down, I might do 26 and 18. And I'll write it in my algorithm like the video had showed us. So if I was to progress with this, it is a new skill I might still be practicing. So I go 8 plus 6. I might think, well, I think that's going to be 14. And I've used that column, so I think that's all I can do. Now, if I type in here as my answer being 14 and go to next, it's going to show me that I've got that question wrong. And it will automatically play that video again for me, so I can practice that skill again, have a look at the instructional video to help me, so hopefully next time I can get it right. We can watch through that video, look at the instructions again, and then click out to move to the next question. Again, here it's giving me a subtraction. I can go ahead and answer that question, or I might not be sure, and then move to the next one. And another subtraction is given to me and I might still not know. So I'm going to click I don't know. Once I've moved through that first 5 questions, which is that initial understanding, it's going to come to a new video. And you'll see that this has now moved to fluency. So, sorry, identify the missing 2 numbers in the subtraction problem. What are the missing numbers in the number sentence? This video will explain that skill to me and then give me 5 questions around that. And because that video is talking about subtraction, I might feel more confident now to go back and have a look at some of my previous questions and answer them. If I was to answer it, I can untick that I don't know button. Moving forward through the whole activity, we'll follow that same structure. I'll get to my next 5 questions and we'll move to the problem solving aspect. And then after I've completed those 5 questions, we'll move to that reasoning. At the end, I can click Finish Activity. It will allow me to go back and review my results. So I can go back and see, I have completed these 2 questions. I got that one wrong. And now I've either got these ones wrong or I have left them. In the bottom right-hand corner, you click Submit, and it will prompt you again if you would like to, just in case you want to go back and fix up some of your results. At the end of the activity, it will give you a summary of how you have gone. So in my case, I've got about a quarter of my understanding and I haven't progressed any further than that. So I might need to spend some more time on this skill and developing it later on. You can see that connect addition and subtraction is there where I'd started with that first one just highlighted. I didn't quite go as well as I should. In the top right-hand corner, I've been given that 5% of achievement level. So our teachers are going to be able to look in and see a student here is really struggling and maybe they're going to need a bit more support, or maybe that level was a bit too hard for them to start. When you get some more instruction, maybe you ask your parents, maybe your teacher reaches out to you, we can click that reset button. And I can now go in to have another go at that activity. I'm hoping that my achievement level will be a lot better after receiving some additional support. It'll take me straight back in that video and straight back through those questions again so that I can build on those skills that I missed before. From there, we can go back to home and I could move on to a new skill. Could still be inside addition subtraction, but I could possibly move to using money and change or another area that I'd like to focus on. These will also start if I haven't completed them and reset if I have. As you achieve mastery of these, above that 80% mark, you'll receive a trophy, which will come down into your trophy box here, and you can use that to look at different little avatars. If we click that back button again, take me back to the next level, where I could go into other areas and back again, take me back to the original home screen. All right, we'll do another short video on My Numeracy a bit later, and I'll also do one on the sunset maths activity. Thank you.